Hello, Amit, and my name is Bharat, and I'm not working right now, but I've learned some. Hello,
Yeah, you are audible, Bharat.
yeah, I have knowledge on basically I have knowledge on few tools like load runner, JMeter. As of now, I've learned and I'm learning MQ, IBM MQ, and IIB right now.
Okay, okay,
I'm a 2018 pass out.
okay, perfect. So let me share my screen now. Like just today is just being as a demo class, so I'll give you overview of Elasticsearch Stash or ELK Stash and how it's functioning and why it's becoming so popular. So just give me 1 minute. I'm sharing my screen now. Let me know once it's visible. Is it visible?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll start with bit theory, and along with that, I'll go and explain you the things and concepts of this particular Elasticsearch stack. So, as the name suggests, like it's ELK stack, It's basically a stack which has three different parts, combination of three different tools: Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana. So that's the reason it is called ELK stack. Now, it's what exactly is ELK stack? Or what's the purpose of health now? As in this industry currently, you will be observing that now data is oil, data is everything. Everyone is focusing on data, even for troubleshooting, even for analytics purpose, even for higher enhanced value addition or optimization of their own application. Everywhere data is coming into picture. Now, once data comes into picture, Elasticsearch comes into picture. Why Elasticsearch comes into picture? First of all, because of its features that it's providing. Apart from that, there are multiple, you can say, way of inputting the data and way of passing and all those. It's, you can say, it's very dynamic in nature, which helps us in you can say building up a good stack for our own production, for our usage. So few features. First of all, the feature is it's scalable. At any point of time, be it on live production environment, you can scale it. Like suppose I have a certain amount of data is getting increased, and you see that okay, now I need to have a bigger cluster so that more data can be stored within my Elasticsearch cluster. So you can add new data nodes. I'll explain you what all data nodes are, but as right now you can consider data node as one such node where these data can reside. Now it's almost near real time searches. Whatever data you ingest, it's almost in near real time. Why we say near real time? Real time is said because suppose if you are sending any raw data, it takes few seconds to parse it and then make it available. So to make during this period of time, like parsing, making that raw data to a meaningful data, and then uh, putting it for search, making it available for search. So this gap is considered as near real time. It's not much, it's in few seconds, which is actually you won't even observe it, but these gap comes up. Now, uh, it if suppose I have a cluster, if one server crashes, its data can be recovered easily. You won't be much worried, or you should not have to worry about okay, my server goes down, what will happen to the data. So it can be stored easily on the other nodes. So that's a big time you can say benefit for using Elasticsearch. It uses and stores the data in JSON format. So JSON format is basically indented format with key value pairs. If I have suppose I have three details, like with it, what's your name, with it, age, location. So if I have these three fields and data against these three fields, like name, with it, age 32, location Bangalore, then this particular data gets stored in form of JSON. Now, all these JSON indices are stored automatically in index. So here you can see like uses JSON format and JSON application APIs. and all these data are stored and indexed in JSON format itself. Now this uses different type of identifiers. I'll take it up in different classes. As of now, you can simply consider that, okay, if data is coming, whatever sort of data you are ingesting, all those will be saved in JSON format. Now each index have its own setting. What are these indices? I'll explain you in few minutes. Now just it's why it's what are how the search is being performed. Search is being performed based on leucine based queries. So what is leucine? Two things are coming up here right now. I'll note it down: index and leucine. So I'll explain you how these two things are playing important part in Elasticsearch Logstash Kibana. Now Elastic itself has divided themselves into multiple layers for their costing. Now, costing, depending upon costing, they provide certain features which are exposed only once you purchase their license. One is basic license. One is basic. This is free. You don't have to purchase pay any amount for this particular feature. These like basic version of Elasticsearch is enough if you are only working or worried about log ingestion, log parsing, and you're not going deep dive into different features. So this is basic. Apart from that, they have gold, platinum licenses, and they have certain features like cross replication, cross cluster replication, SIEM, which is security incident event management, and other features like machine learning features. All those comes up in gold, platinum licenses, and they also provide support in these particular license structure. So this is the one. This is the one thing which differentiates different features being available whether in basic, gold, or platinum. So is it clear till now?
Yep. Right.
Okay, perfect. So what is now here I give you brief of all these things: ELKs, Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana. But what roles are these individual tools playing? So these individual tools are playing like there are a set of defined roles which are being played by Kibana, being played by Elasticsearch, and being played by Logstash. There are other things which is known as beats. So what is beats? I'll explain you that also going in upcoming few minutes. Now, first thing, see, basically ELK stack is known as Elastic, Logstash, Kibana. But if you go by the flow of data, then data first of all comes in Logstash. From here it goes to Elasticsearch, and then it is made searchable in Kibana. Okay. So first thing first, so in that way you might get confused that okay, it's called ELK stack, so data flow should be Elastic first, Logstash then, and then Kibana. But no, it's not the case, and that's the reason right now the Elastic has changed their the stack name from Elastic stack, ELK stack to Elastic stack. So nowadays you might hear people saying that I am working on Elastic stack. Instead of saying ELK stack, they have started saying it as Elastic stack. So it's the same thing. Now, first thing first, roles. Kibana is visual interface. Whatever searches you want to perform, if you want to create certain visualization, if you want to create certain dashboards, then Kibana comes into picture. In few minutes I'll also tell you like it's if someone asks is it mandatory that we should use Kibana, then no, it's not mandatory. There are other tools as well where you can which you can integrate with Elasticsearch for visualizations and dashboards. But why Kibana? Because if if you use Kibana, there are features like it's a stack, Elastic Kibana log stack. It's a stack. So obviously, if you use the same product, there are multiple four inbuilt features which can be utilized for data usage, and which can gives you much better, you can say, search result and features. So that's the reason Kibana. So Kibana, purpose of using Kibana is per performing searches, visualization, dashboards. Next comes Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch purpose has main purpose is storage and indexing. Now, what is indexing? Indexing means whatever data is being sent to Elasticsearch cluster, it will be indexed. Index means processed and stored in Elasticsearch nodes. So this is how the main role of Elasticsearch. One important thing which we must know about Elasticsearch is it is no SQL database. Now, what does it mean by no SQL database? No SQL database, like SQL database has their certain format. We have to make like, okay, these are my rows, these are my fields, these fields will be used. So there's if you are using no SQL database, it means any sort of data can be inserted in this, any raw data. It's not necessary that, like, suppose if I have two application A and application B. Now my A application is sending 10 fields, my B application is sending 12 different fields. That then both of these data can be stored in a single index as well. It's not that we have to create a different rule for all different applications. So this is a big time flexibility which is provided by Elasticsearch. So the database which is uses, it's called no SQL database. You don't have to define its number of fields or the field attributes. It will take it automatically. Whatever comes up, it will process it and it will store it in its indices. So that's the reason it is called no SQL database. The purpose is storage. Whatever data you are sending, it is getting stored in Elasticsearch. It is getting indexed or processed in Elasticsearch. Next comes Logstash. So Logstash is, the word itself suggests log stash. It means log parsing. So what does it do? It takes certain log input. You can push certain logs to Logstash. Logstash, based upon your requirement, it will transform those unmeaningful or raw data into meaningful data, and then it will send it as an output. Now, output, it can be multiple output. Log input, it could be multiple input. Transformation, as per your requirement, there are multiple fields available. You can use those for transforming. So, the role of Logstash, first is log input, then transformation, then output. So any doubt, any questions till now? Shall I proceed further?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So now this is ELK stack. This is ELK stack, different features that is being provided by different tools, and how it's being used and how it's being utilized. Now, next is what's the Elasticsearch landscape? These are okay. These three elastic log stash, all these are okay. These are different tools which are being used. But what's the end result? What's the product, or how we can utilize it? So this is basically its landscape, and here it shows what all type of you can say services are being provided by Elasticsearch as a product, or how it can be utilized. So here, if you see, the thing is, these are different type of features that is provided by Elasticsearch landscape. This features is called Elasticsearch Enterprise Search. This can be used. See, as of now, you won't be using these frequently because all of these are as SaaS, software as a service. And if you have, suppose, but I'll give you a certain brief of these, like what exactly is this. I'll share you some useful links about it so that you can sit and you can then further analyze if you want to use it for your environment or not. Now all these are separate from Elastic Cluster. It is a separate, all of these are separate features, or you can say separate products which you can use. These are used, you can say, you have not, I'll just give you as an example how actually it works. Google, we give some search that okay, we give certain keywords over there, Elasticsearch, and whatever we give the search, it shares us the search result based upon that keywords. So accordingly these works: site search, app search, work search. These are certain sort of you can say features for searching capability. As you can see, app search is add search to your app. So if you want to add search feature in your application, you need to use app search. If you want to add search features in your website, you can use site search. And if you want to search, like you have a bulk of content, and if you want to search, then you can use workplace search. So these have different usage. All of these are provided by Elasticsearch as a separate entity, as software as a service. Elastic observability. Now, this elastic observability modules comes up in our Elastic's ELK stack itself. These are different roles, different processes are there for enabling it and utilizing it. APM. This helps in monitoring your application. It gives you better insight of your application. For logs, your application log, it could be your OS logs, it could be your application logs, or any other you can say logs and user logs that you have. Matrices are again, it's CPU, if in the most common term, it's CPU, memory disk, or any other metrics which you want to send to Elasticsearch and monitor it via Elasticsearch. Uptime is, suppose if you want to check, okay, what's the uptime for this particular server, what's the uptime for this particular website. So all those things can be handled using uptime. These four are basically comes under observation. You need to keep monitoring it. That's the reason its name comes as Elastic Observability. You need to observe all of these. End result is observing it, making filtering out the data. Then what exactly I need to I can fetch the data from all of these things. So that's the reason observability. Then comes Elasticsearch Security. So security module is one such module where, based upon the input logs, input data, you can filter out. There are certain predefined dashboards which you can utilize for your analytics purpose, for your security analytics purpose. So two things are there: endpoint security, this is for protection of your data. There are certain set of configurations that can be utilized for elastic security. And SIEM is basically for utilizing security events. If you have certain events now, suppose you have certain events which are coming from auth log files, audit log files from your Linux machines, then based upon that, certain security based transformation is done, and then it is showcased in various dashboards. So these are Elasticsearch, Enterprise Search, Observability, and Security. Next is ELK stack or Elastic Stack, which we already discussed. Elastic, Kibana. Now, if you want to use Elasticsearch, what are the different ways you can deploy it? What are the different ways you can use it? So there are multiple ways. Few are given here. One is Elastic Cloud. Elastic Cloud, right now also, suppose if I want to use Elasticsearch, I want to see how it actually works, and I don't want to put myself in deploying, I don't want to waste my efforts in deploying it. Then you can use Elastic Cloud. Elastic Cloud offers, I can even show it to you. Like, this is how Elastic Cloud appears. This is my Elastic Cloud. I created it. Like, you can simply navigate to this particular link, you can create your own account. Right now it's trial, so 15 to 14 days will be given to you, and here you can deploy your setup. Whatever you require, you can deploy it. Next is Elastic Cloud Enterprise. Now, Elastic Cloud Enterprise is similar to Elastic Cloud, but here more and more, like you can build your cluster as per your requirement, and you can work on a big cluster. It can provide you all the support. Like you can use different APIs to set up different things. Like it gives you more and more flexibility. Here with Elastic Cloud, all the thing, they have a set of things. Everything is automated, like snapshot. If you want to take backup is automated. All those, it keeps on happening at background. Here it gives you more flexibility, more configuration for customization. Third is ECK, Elastic Cloud Kubernetes. So here you can deploy and your Elasticsearch on Kubernetes platform. So this is the three ways of deployment. Fourth is the normal way on-premise setup, where you have different servers. You can, as per your requirement, you can install Logstash, Elasticsearch, Kibana. So hope it's clarified.
But if I want to do general on-premise deployment, it can be done on what OSs?
Okay, on OS, if you see, it can be deployed on Ubuntu, Red Hat, Windows. Solaris, yeah, Linux you
Linux?
can deploy. Yes, Linux you can deploy. Mac OS as well you can deploy. Solaris and AIX, it's not right now. They have not shared a package which can be deployed on Solaris or AIX.
So only Linux, Windows, Ubuntu. What else we do
Linux,
have?
Windows, Ubuntu, Red Hat.
Red Hat. Okay. Okay. So for Linux setup, if I want to do it on the Linux setup, is a direct is a deployment, or we require some kind of provision?
No, 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 no. I can share you one link. So here you can see these are the ones versions. It is available as Windows, Debian package, RPM package as well, MSI as well. So all these are available. You simply need to download it and then install it. Installation
Okay.
is quite easy. All the instructions are already given, so you don't have to worry too much about it.
Okay.
Okay. So installation, in upcoming classes, I will be showcasing you these installation as well, configurations as well, like how it can be configured, how it can be installed. Now,
Okay.
right, just for the sake of, suppose okay, you want to see the interface and you want to just navigate around the interface, how it actually is working, and how different features I want to see, then you can use Elastic Cloud as well.
Okay.
It's, you can deploy it simply, like go to Elastic Cloud, elastic.cloud.code/home. I'll share you the link as well in this chat.
Okay.
You can deploy a setup. Just because for the learning purpose you don't even need a big time setup, but then also it's quite sufficient enough. It will give you all the details, like it will deploy a cluster, it will give you all the details. Kibana APM features can be enabled, Kibana Elasticsearch, and then it gives you this particular you can say Kibana dashboard as well. So here you can log in, you can perform all the testing. So if, because see what happens is, even if you want to use AWS for your own usage, after a certain time you can't deploy any more server. It started placing charges, right? So just to handle it, I created this one so that it should not become any showstopper for us. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is the thing as of now. Next, there are certain keywords or certain things which I want to showcase to you, like how Elasticsearch is coming into demand. Why? What's the background? You can say what's the basic search engine capability of Elasticsearch, which makes it a dominant part, dominant over other log tools. Okay. So
Okay.
meanwhile, I'm just using this Zoom session. So in case we get disconnect, I'll ask you to again join the same link. Okay. In case
Okay.
it
Okay.
gets disconnected.
Okay.
Now we are deep diving a bit more on Elasticsearch. Few like concept of Elasticsearch, it's search
Hmm.
mechanism. What's the search
Okay.
mechanism? What are the best practices that we should have for search mechanism? Okay.
Okay.
So for search engine, Elastic search engine is using Apache Lucene. So it is is using Apache Lucene. This Apache Lucene engine, just because it's using Apache Lucene, it's one of the fastest searching tool, or you can say the search engine. That's the reason this Elasticsearch is also used for by Google as well. Even if you search Google, then Google platform uses Elasticsearch in its search engine background. Just give me 1 minute. Sorry for interruption. So I was saying like
Hmm.
Elasticsearch engine is based on Apache Lucene, which is considered as one of the fastest search engine. Now, okay, just saying like Apache Lucene is the fastest. What does it actually mean? How it become fastest? What's the concept that is actually uses, which makes it such a fast search engine? So this is because it's based on a concept which is known as inverted index. Okay, so inverted index is the main concept behind Apache Lucene, which makes it search fast like anything. What is it? How it exactly work is next thing. How I'll show you. So this is our search engine mechanism. Let's explain it with certain example. Okay, I can either use this particular example which I made it in slide, or let me make a new example for better understanding. Okay, now just give me 1 minute. Okay, so suppose I have certain words. My certain word is suppose winter is coming. This is my first line. Okay, suppose I have my second line, or okay, leave it. It's better to take this itself. I'll take this. I have suppose I have three lines, three documents with me. One is the bright blue butterfly hangs on the trees. Second is it's best to forget the great sky and to retire from every wind. Third one shows under blue sky in the bright sunlight, one need not search around. So I have written this.
Edit your screen. Your screen was okay. Now it's good.
Is it visible?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, okay. So suppose I have these three lines with me. The bright blue butterfly hangs on the breeze. It's best to forget the sky, the great sky, and to retire from every key. When under blue sky in the bright sunlight, one need not search around. Now these are my three documents. Now suppose I want to search blue sky. Okay, so I can as and I give this particular blue sky. So how the search is performed, how like what's the concept behind working behind this leucine engine inverted index? What is inverted index? So basically all these are considered as a term, all of these words. Okay, now if let me full screen this particular. Hope it's you are able to see this clearly.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Now, the word which I was saying, all of these are words are considered as terms. All of these are individual terms. And how these terms are segregated? These are segregated alphabetically. If you see here, the words are being taken the and yeah, here the and all these words are not considered. It's not considered. The main keywords of search is bright blue butterfly hands breeze. So you will find all of these words to be available over here. Bright, yes, bright is there. Then these terms accordingly, blue is here, butterfly is here, hands is there, breeze is there. Same on similar line, best is there, best is there, forget is there, great is there, sky is there, retire is there, every is there, every is there. No, I don't think so. It should not be. Wind is there. So all these keywords are then segregated as terms. Okay. Now these are the terms which are part of different documents, and these are segregated alphabetically. You will see B on the top, then F, G, H, N, R, S, W. Now these all are terms. These all are IDs associated with it. Like, okay, this is my first ID, second, third, fourth, fifth, accordingly. Next comes document and its position. So instead of searching and saving this document and its individual terms, what it is doing, it is taking all these documents, considering it as a single term, and then it is putting all those documents and its position. Now, if I check, we'll start with best. Best is in document 2, position 3. Document 2, position 3. Why it's position 3? It's considering it's as it is best. So 3. Then comes blue. Blue is in document 1, position 3. Document 1, position 3. Then it comes in document 3, position 2. Document 3, position 2 under blue. So in this way, it creates a particular, you can say, index which contains all these terms, its position. Now it makes my search quite easy. If I have all these details with me, then it, and if I search blue sky, then it instead it knows that okay, blue will be coming on the top itself. So here it hits the position of blue, and then sky. Sky, it knows that okay, I don't have to search all of this. I can directly land up over here. I can directly search for S keyword, and then I can further search where's the sky. So here is blue, here is sky. Next is, we saw that its position is coming as blue sky, or not sky blue, we are showing it as blue sky. So blue sky, here it will match. Okay, my document positions are this for blue, my document positions are 2 colon 8 and 3 3 for sky. Does it match this criteria? We will see one document matches this criteria. Third document, second position is blue, third document, third position is sky. This means it is matching my criteria, and here once it's matched, it will give me the search result. So document reference is 3, third document, which shows blue sky, and its relevance is 100%. It is actually able to retrieve the data 100%. Whatever data is coming, it is able to retrieve it. Okay. Hope this is clarified. one more thing which it is doing is, here we saw that all these three documents are considered together for building terms. So it's not that, okay, my first doc for doc one, it's considered it's simply, you can say, including all these three documents for searching purpose, rather than creating separate, you can say, separate index for doc one, like bright blue, bright, butterfly, breeze. Breeze should come up. So instead of creating separate index, it created a single one for all these documents, and then based upon this particular inverted index, it makes it searches, like whatever search you are performing, it's giving the search result, and it is giving the relevance, like how much relevance it is this document coming to you. Is this clear to you?
Yep.
Okay, good. Now, as I said, like this is done. Next thing is how these search are performed. So how
Okay.
these,
Before going to the next one,
yeah,
can I ask a question?
yep, sure.
Okay. What I understand based on this, right? Regardless of the documents or the text contents, what it taking is it's taking the key value quotes like another verb or noun, uh, and it directly input as an irrational database and making an indexing accordingly. So based on the search criteria, it can directly find the key value pairs and uh, get show the relevant documents.
Uh,
Correct?
See, you are just mixing up two things. These datas
Mhm.
are getting, you can say, are ingested into Elasticsearch as it is. This concept comes up while performing search. Only during search, this concept comes up into picture.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
so the document where, suppose my first document is the bright blue butterfly hangs on the breeze, this will be available to you as it is. There will be no change in it. Okay, it will be come up. It will come up under message column. Like, okay, this is my message. The bright blue sky or whatever words you have, it will come up and get stored in Elasticsearch as it is. Only while searching the data, it comes up, it uses the concept of inverted index, and accordingly it utilizes it.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Got it.
like
Got it.
it's, yeah, it's not storing data in this format, it is storing data in this way only, with different document, like document 1 2 3 only, but during search,
That is a very search mechanism.
yes, it's the search mechanism on which it uses index, inverted index concept. It's a good question actually, because many a times we do get confused with this word index, because index is most important part while saving the document. So it's a good, really a good question. Now there are certain best practices. Best practices, I can tell you right now. I just don't go deep dive into it, because in upcoming session I'll explain you more about it in depth, like, okay, why this is considered as a best practice. But just right now
Okay.
I'll give you certain brief about it, that so that you will get a rough idea in, and you'll come up with this rough idea in upcoming classes. So first one is define ES mapping. We have to define mapping. Now suppose I have multiple things with me. Okay, I have age 44, suppose. So age is string, but here 44 is number, right? So 44 cannot be stored as a string, right? It has, we have to define that, okay, in, if I have this particular data, then whatever comes up in this place, it should be considered as number. Whatever the value of age shows, it should be considered as number. Okay. Why this mapping is required? These mappings is required because it ultimately helps in improved search result. It ultimately helps in improved search result. It ultimately helps in creating dashboards which are using different search mechanism or aggregation. Aggregation is another term which I'll be explaining in upcoming classes, but aggregation is a concept where you have multiple document. Out of those multiple document, you want to create an aggregated result, as the word itself goes. So ES mapping is very much important. Many times what happens, you will see that, okay, I have data which is coming up, but mapping is not properly placed. So chances are that you might not be able to search that particular data. You might not be able to build a query which will give you that particular fields data. So that's the reason ES mapping. Now what happens if I don't define ES mapping? Then if you don't define any ES mapping and you have set mapping as dynamic, then Elasticsearch automatically assigns mapping to those particular fields. Got it? So if you don't have, if you have not defined ES mapping, then Elasticsearch itself, its engine suggests like, okay, this particular mapping should be there for these particular fields, and it will automatically place those mappings. So it's one thing. Then then question comes, if Elastic is automatically doing it, then also why we need to place ES mapping? We need to place ES mapping. Suppose I have hundreds and hundreds of fields. Suppose we have 300 fields coming up from a single document, but you don't want all of those fields. You only need 7 or 10 fields out of it. So you can simply place that mapping. You can turn dynamic mapping as off. Then what will happen? It will give you all these particular mapping, if all these 6 or 10 fields searchable. Rest you don't have to worry about it. It won't be occupying any space. It won't be getting utilized in any way. So in this way, to make, you can say, or to make optimized use of data, you need to use Elasticsearch mapping. Second thing, provide more memory to file cache system. Now this is a very interesting concept in Elasticsearch. Heap memory, JVM memory. So how much you can give? So practically what happens, like, the more you give, the more you get, but there is certain limit. You cannot exceed it above 32 GB. 32 GB is the maximum JVM size that you can give to any particular elastic node. What's the why 32 GB? It's a concept which I'm not going to explain right now. It will be explained in later on classes, because it's really a good concept and it always comes into picture if you have a you can say big cluster. Third is faster hardware. SSD drives are always preferred. Why faster? Because see, if you are ingesting hundreds and 100 GB of data and your cluster size is small, you are using few servers only, then those servers should have IO ops capability, high IO ops capability, high read write input output capability. Only then your cluster, with even with less number of nodes, will be stable. Because just because your ingestion is high, if you are sending suppose 10 GB of data in 10 minutes, then your server should be sufficient enough to write all those data within 10 minutes. Got it? Then document moduling is basically uh, a, a way how your documents are being configured, how your logs are being configured. Suppose I have a field, suppose I have a category person, under which I have too many fields: age, weight, suppose weight something, height, then suppose I have birthplace. Now within birthplace I have location, then I have state, then I have country, So what is it actually? So within this person, we have first of all first layer. Within this first layer, we again have second layer, and it could be like many documents could be there where you have multiple layers, nested things. So we should avoid nested. Like okay, first of all, if nothing can be done, then it's okay. But our query now based upon this is like if I built a query, that query will again come up in this format. Okay, like if I want to search, okay, search, first of all search a person which has age is, suppose this is my search, is greater than 30. Then again if I place that okay, age is greater than 30, birth location is should be, then again I place in my search that okay, there are certain criteria, location should be like okay, birth, sorry, birthplace should be like okay, location less than something and something. So it basically becomes a nested query. So instead of it, we should make the query as simple as possible. We should avoid multiple layering of these queries. This, right now this it's a very small example, but in my own cluster I have seen there are.
Hello.
Hello, yep.
Hello.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So in this way, nested queries should be avoided. Okay. Now next is search rounded dates. Now at any point of time you can start giving that, okay, I want to search the data from 26th. I think someone is pinging us. Am I audible? Satish is facing some issue. Hello, Satish. Hello. Am I audible to anyone?
Yes, you are audible to me.
Okay, I think Satish is facing issue. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, you are audible.
I have asked Satish to join again, okay?
Hello.
Satish, are you able to hear
Yeah.
us now?
Yep.
Okay, so which part you missed out of it? Hello.
This document modeling.
Okay, so document modeling, what I was saying, like suppose if I have this particular document where it has certain nested. Now in on this search part, this is basically more related to search, like document modeling. Now, if I want to search where I am giving, okay, I need to search in person with age criteria greater than 30, and again I am giving a nested part where birthplace is location something something. So if you see, it goes to next, it becomes nested. Birthplace is again nested. So
Yes.
we should avoid such queries. I know, like, it comes up like it cannot be avoided in every scenario, but many a scenario unnecessary, you can say, a nested query should be avoided. Okay, because what happens, it if you provide nested, then again it makes it the situation bit complex, which can be easily handled without nesting as well. Okay, so that's the reason here nested should be avoided, whatever, like, to the maximum extent. In live example, if I tell you, like, in my own setup, I have seen many of the application team sends their data, and they contain thousands and thousands of fields, and they use nested query, which sometimes gets timed out. Reason is because even in nested query, they make it unnecessary complex. They can be given as and, or you can utilize logical input like and, or, not, all those, which can make your query more easy and convenient. But still, it comes up and things gets mess around. Next point is search rounded dates. Now suppose if I want to search data from 25th, suppose my issue comes up at 25th of June, 3 3:34 a.m. in a.m., and this issue was there till 6:45 43 p.m. on 25th June only. Then instead of making it 34 a.m. for 6:43 p.m., you should make us it like, you should simplify it. You should simply place 25th June 3:30 a.m. Till 6:45 p.m. Or if you want a bit more, then make it 25th June 3 a.m. to 7 p.m. Instead of going to this particular complexity, it should be rounded off. So better like this, even more better like this. So in this way, it, like, Elasticsearch doesn't have to work and extensively find the data from 334 and ending it with 643. Now, why all these, like, same, the two things, which is document modeling and rounded off, these seems to be, you will say, like, okay, these all are fine. It's first three, defining ES mapping, memory, and hardware. These are more related to configuration and you can say certain configuration part. But why this search, these two search are considered as a best practice? These two search are considered as a best practice because if you follow these two, your search will take even less time. It will give you optimized result. So for better optimized result, better optimized performance of your elastic cluster, these two like document modeling and search rounded dates are considered. So is this clear to you guys? Hello, Bharat.
Yes.
Okay. So here itself, I will be ending my session for today. So Satish, any questions or query that you have till now?
No, no. The question is, in the document modeling, what you have to say, instead of nested,
Document
because of
modeling. Okay.
tree structure searching, yeah. So
Avoid.
it's because if we use a nested queries, so if I use a nested queries, it gets delayed because of the nested, because of the tree structure navigations. I mean, for example, it's a main root tag followed by sub tag followed by the subshell tag. So it's because of the tree structure traversing of to the particular level and try to search at the particular level, or how?
See, basically what happens, let me give you a better example. I'll give you an example of this nested query. Now see what actually happens. I have taken this nested query section of Elasticsearch itself, where you will see like, okay, how the things get complicated. First of all, I place certain mapping. Okay, my object has type mapping nested. So I need to define certain things, that's okay. Now, once that is done, I use object path. I further define like, okay, my match should be this, range should be this, score mode this is, suppose average. So here what comes up into picture, like it start, let me, this one won't help you much. Let me take a good example. Yeah, this will make more sense because it's a live day-to-day scenario. Now here is, suppose I have placed a mapping of drivers. So driver, it is nested type. Okay, I'll explain it to you in a different notepad as well. Just see its hierarchy. First is driver. Under that, one section is last name. Under that, there is another structure, vehicle. And under vehicle, you have another structure, one is type. Under that type, it is again here it is showing make. Make means like what year, and make, then model. So this is my structure. Now here driver, vehicle, type, make, model, this is my nested details which comes up. Now whatever they, suppose this is my document which comes up over here, and then do one more thing. Why not test it out? Let me test it out. I have already made one Kibana, so it will help you and it will not confuse you. Okay, so it created one index with drivers. This is my drivers mapping, which is already placed over here. Next is I'll place these two documents. This is my document one. It's already been placed. I'll place one more document. So both of my documents are placed. Now this is the query which is a nested one. See how complicated it is. Now I'll, first of all, before that, I inserted these two query. Let me see if these two details are available with me or not. Let's check that first of all. Drop count is fine. Okay, let me do one thing. I'll explain you all these things in upcoming sessions, but right now let me do. So these are the documents which I inserted. If you see here, I have inserted driver vehicle detail, make model. On similar line, I also place details over here, like driver last name Hudson, make model. Here driver name is McQueen, make model. What's the index name? Drivers. So I have this data with me. Now what's the next thing that I want to do? I want to perform certain search. Now the nested search, I'll give you example of one such nested search over here. And basically this is called dev tools. This console is called dev tools. From here you can perform all your search activities, all your uh, I won't say exactly configuration, but configuration which can be performed through UI. All those things can be done through here itself. It is based upon API calls. Like, okay, whatever you are giving, API hits that particular cluster, and accordingly those changes are made. Now nested query. Nested query, here you see it's, I want to search a data. My path is driver. What I want to search is driver.vehicle, where query must match power motors and Kyanero. So before that, let me open a different console. So here, what we have seen driver last name, driver my vehicle. So this is my data. This is the data that I have. What I want to search, I want to search my driver vehicle, which has power by motors and which has uh, Canero as a vehicle make and model. So my condition is driver vehicle make should be power motor, and vehicle model should be Canero. And if I want to search it, it will give me this particular result. If it matches it, it will give me that okay, McKinney is the one which is relevant one and which is giving me the required data. So what is it exactly? It is a complex. It is becoming unnecessary complex. My input is I want to search uh, that particular driver detail which has Powell Motors and Canero. I can simply go over here and I can search uh, Powell Motors and Canyonero. It's not showing me any results. Wait. Mm. Give me 1 second. Let's see. It gets me this here. No, it's not giving me. Actually, it should be giving me this. It's not giving me data. Strange. I think it will only work with nested only. Make is only then it's giving. So it's a perfect example for okay. So I think it will just because we inserted the data over here, and okay, this is a new thing. This is a new thing because I'm using latest version of Elasticsearch. The latest version is 7.8. So I'm using 7.8. Before that, it was not available to like this. It was not handy. Like the way I'm doing it right now, it was not so much available. So here, whatever documents are there, which is getting inserted, I have to perform a nested query based upon which it shows me the result. So accordingly, this we should avoid what it says that we should avoid such queries. Now here I'll show you a example over here. Now if one more thing, if I search for this particular document, then and now suppose you want to see what's the exact query that is actually running behind it, you can click on inspect and you can check a request. So here it will give you that particular query detail as well, like okay, this is my nested path, this is the one which should be matching. So here it is. Let's see if I give it completely, does it match our request? If I give it completely, or okay, and was here, okay, let me try it once again. And this gives me the data. If I go to inspect, let's search for the request. Now, if you see over here, let's see the difference between these two. Nested path, query, query path, again, must, all these are there. If I go over here, it is giving me query. Okay, yeah, this makes more sense. I'll show it to you now how the difference is there. Now here, this is my query. And here, if you see, I have given so much of nesting. Nested, again, a query, nested, then again I made driver, searched where, driver path, then again nested driver vehicle, model, driver vehicle model, driver vehicle vehicle. So this is a bit complex query. On that easy front, what exactly is the one where we can use it? Suppose I want to use discover, I can simply place the same detail. I want to look for make power model and model canyon arrow. I searched it, it gives me the query. Now here the query is boolean must filter nested path, it only used once. Path is driver vehicle, rest it simply gave match phrase this, match phrase this. So if you see the difference, how much of nesting is being utilized over there, whereas how much of boolean related things are given over here. So this is less complex. Also in dev tool, you may not be very much sure like if I am able to place this search or not. It's better to go to discover whatever search you want to perform, type it over here, it will give you required details. So my output is same. If you go over here, if I check this particular detail here, it is giving me same output. Number of it is 1. Here the value is 1. It is giving me one document. One document contains McQueen with both of these details. Accordingly, if I search it over here, it gave me same details, McQueen and same details. Now here still we have limited number of fields, and it's still, you can say it's not too much nested. In live scenario, you might see that these fields are further nested upon. So it becomes, if the moment these are nested again and again, our search become nested over again and again. So we should avoid this nesting search. Hope it's clarified now, Satish. Hello.
Yep. But is there any? Yep, I can. It is clear now.
Okay.
But is there any way when we give a query, right? Is there any way we can give directly the schema level? I mean, the schema means the XPath level references, so that it can directly go to the particular tree structure path instead of going in a nested way. Say, for example, if you want to go to find a power motor, I mean the driver vehicle make.
Okay.
So you need to travel from there to here. So instead of that, you can give directly an XPath reference. For example, take a variable saying that it's a nested, and you give a path to that particularly, so that it will go to the one time only. See,
Okay.
instead of going to multiple times,
it.
it will go.
Okay, let's take that. Let's consider that and let's try to perform search and search. So basically what you are saying, instead of going and deep diving in nested part, can we directly use this make model, right? Okay,
Yes.
so let's try to search. I was trying to do that and I got stuck. Now see, one key benefit with Discover, this particular Discover tab here is whatever fields are available, it will show you those fields. Here, if you see the fields available, you won't find make and model, right? Here you can only find,
Yep.
here you can, okay, let me first of all bring it to the normal level, clear out the search. So I have two documents now. Okay, and let me remove these two things. So here you will see that all these details are coming, but my make and model is not getting showcased as a separate field. So here two things can be done. The way, basically one most important thing, one is the same nested query. Second is you can make this itself as a field.
Hmm.
What you can do, there for that, now here mapping comes into picture. Here what then again you have to do, you have to make it available instead of this particular way, you have to make it available as driver dot vehicle dot make, driver dot vehicle dot model. So once you map it accordingly, then you don't even have to work on this nested. Then these driver vehicle make will appear over here and you can directly search over it. So that part will be completely gone. Let me do one thing. Right now I'm going to end this session, but before that, I'll do one thing. If we in our upcoming session, I'll check on the mapping because mapping takes time. So I'll check on the mapping how exactly I need to place it, and I'll place this same data with this layer, so that you don't have to go and worry about this nested query at any point of time.
Okay. Okay. Can you show me the what are like things you are going to cover in this particular
Okay, sure.
course, and what is our objective and how we are?
Okay, so I have designed it like the way I designed it is it's a 6 day session, six
Mm-hmm.
day or different sessions. One is what is
Uh-huh.
Elastic Logstash Kibana, why ELK, architecture of
Hmm.
ELK stack, indices, charts, fundamental of search engine. If you want to extend, we can extend with this one today. Fundamental is clear. Only thing left is architecture. We can cover
Hmm.
architecture right now as well. Second is
Hmm.
installation and configuration of ELK. Installation of Elasticsearch, its directory structure. Installation
Hmm.
of Kibana, its directory structure, and Logstash and directory structure. Understanding data in Elasticsearch. What is mapping, data type of fields, defining and using templates, indexing and storing documents, searching data, tokenizers and analyzers. Next is
Okay.
Logstash. Parsing with Logstash is Logstash configuration format, stashing of event using filters, handling input and output. Next is beats. Beats are file beats, audit beat, function beat. Beats on a single word, these are shippers. These are shippers of data. I need to install it on server machine, and as per the beat which you are using, you can send the data or logs from different servers to Elasticsearch. And last one will be Kibana dashboard visualization, which contains aggregation, bucketing, discover, visualization available, and dashboard creation. So at end of the day, once after the session is over, you should be able to build an Elasticsearch cluster, and you should be able to do necessary mapping, basic, more than basic mapping. Like I can give you the details. You should be able to create certain templates. You should be able to ingest the data through different beats, more precisely more file beat, because file beat is the most, you can say, it covers most of the portion of log monitoring.
Okay. File bit can be applied on the AX.
I faced issue with that. I faced issue with that. I tried it on AIX. I faced issue with that. Let's check.
Hmm.
It's similar to what we got for Elasticsearch, like Dev, RPM, Windows, Linux,
Hmm.
Mac. These are available. So, are you
Okay.
using AIX as your in your infra?
Yes. Yes.
Let me check. Let me check if there's a
Because
way.
IBM tools prefers to be defaultly landed on AX.
Okay, okay. Just give me one.
AX Power 8 machine.
Okay.
Power 8 32 kernel.
Can you ping me once?
Yeah, I can text.
Because even in one of my environment, we were using AIX and we faced a lot of challenge. I can share you this link. So here you can see its compatibility metrics.
Okay, one question. If, for example, I got
Satish, your voice is breaking.
parsing and sorry,
Yeah.
I got in a tool in IIB. So in IIB, I can directly parse the message and do the FTP to a particular file system.
Yes.
Okay, file location.
Yeah.
But my concern is if I use that, I no need to use a Logstash or I no need to use a beats. Okay, because
See,
it's already doing FTP.
See here, Logstash will come into picture. You won't need file bit. See, either you can use either of it because see what actually you are doing. You are dumping it to a separate FTP location, right? Now through that particular FTP, there you cannot install any file bit, right? But Logstash, you can use Logstash over there. Logstash is required because see, Elastic, whenever it's a misconcept that comes up, like okay, if you place certain data on Elastic node, it will be considered as an Elastic data. No, actually that doesn't happen because there are certain metadata which are associated with Elasticsearch data, Elasticsearch indices. So what basically happens is it's one of the case where suppose you are deploying it on FTP, you are uploading all these logs on FTP. Logstash can be used over here. You can give Logstash input to pick those files from FTP location, and accordingly Logstash will parse it if you need any parsing. If you don't want to parse anything, that's also okay. Logstash can send it directly to Elasticsearch.
So what you mean to say is from the particular FTP location, you need to use the Logstash to inject the particular file systems or the file contents into the Elasticsearch. Is it correct?
Yes, yes. See
My
here,
understanding.
here you will see different sort of input which are available with just a second, I'll share it to you. These are different input plugins which are available with Logstash, and if any of it supports, then you can use that.
Okay. No, the Logstash, right? If
Yeah.
I use a Logstash, what kind of what is this called? What kind of setup I need to show? Can you show me the sample Logstash?
Logstash server or
Yes.
see, I have not installed Logstash on my machine as of now. Logstash is you can use a
In your cloud, it should be right.
no,
In
cloud
cloud,
doesn't
it is
provide.
already
No, cloud doesn't provide. It doesn't provide Logstash. Because
only the
see,
Elasticsearch.
yes, Elasticsearch and Kibana console.
Okay.
And the thing is with this, you like I don't even have Elasticsearch configuration available to me. All these runs at the backend. Okay.
Okay.
But in upcoming class or like I will be downloading Logstash. So Logstash basically, see, it totally depends how much of data you want to ingest. If number of data, like overall size of data in your storage or any place is higher, and if you are expecting uh, terabytes of data, then Logstash, there should be multiple Logstash instances, and there are multiple ways, and your Logstash instance
Yeah,
should
I
have a
understand.
yeah,
Horizontal scaling based on the volumes or
exactly,
I need to do the horizontal scaling of the same Logstash either in the Dockers or I can do it in different
right,
instances on the
exactly.
different machines.
Exactly. You
Okay.
need to provide more like In a general practice, it's always recommended like give only less than half of your JB of your RAM to Logstash. Less than half. Like suppose if I have a server where I'm using 16 GB of RAM, then I will give 7, like half is 8, but I won't give 8. I will give 7 GB of RAM to Logstash. So the more RAM you provide, faster it's you can say ingestion and parsing of data.
No, actually here doesn't require the parsing of data because I'm directly converting the message into the base 64 JSON message.
Oh, so
So
it's okay. Then it doesn't need parsing. You just need to take input and then push it to Elasticsearch.
yes,
Yeah,
because Elastic it is expecting base 64 JSON message, right?
right. If it's already there, see, only difference it makes is like suppose if you don't have your data in JSON format, then only difference that is Logstash. Okay, let me give you a bit inside of Logstash configuration. So Logstash configuration is three parts: input, filter, output. If your input is already in JSON format, then this you don't need it.
Okay.
So only thing that will be required here for JSON format input, you will need input and output. That's it.
Okay.
Nothing much.
Filter is nothing but a translator or a transformation.
Yes, suppose even if it's JSON, so you don't have to do anything. But it's not the case all of the time. People send
Okay.
data on HTTP port. People send data like if you see over here, there are many ways of sending the data. HTTP port is there. JDBC is another one. S3 buckets, which is basically related to cloud. TCP ports, UDP ports. So all these are available over here. So based upon that, they send their raw data, and multiple field parsing are required. So filter does all of these parsings.
Okay.
And in your case, you are saying it's already JSON, so you don't need filter because you just need input codec. There is a word codec, so you need to mention in input there's a word codec. So you just need to mention that my input is already JSON. So the moment you say like it's already JSON, you don't have to do anything. It will simply parse the data. It will send it to Elasticsearch.
Okay. 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 The log stash is mandatory for me to, but if I am already having a file base, why can't I directly run Elasticsearch on the particular files? Why I require the log stash still?
No,
Because
yes, it's not required. It's not required. Logstash comes up into picture only when your data requires certain parsing. Filebit C, in most of the cases, where you don't require parsing, there are certain modules associated with Filebit. Now, FileBit, if Filebit comes up, let me explain a bit. Now, with Filebit, there are multiple modules. Nginx modules and other modules. So if all of those are present, like if you need any of that, then you don't even need to push it via Logstash. You can directly send data from Filebit to Elasticsearch. You don't need any other things. Okay,
no,
there
but
these.
my problem in my today's problem statement is from AIX. Does the file bit supports or not?
No, this is what I was looking. If you see over here, Amazon Solaris is not available. OpenSUSE, I can see Oracle, CentOS.
Okay, that is one question. The other question is, I
Yes.
have a DB2 where today currently I'm injecting all my logs to a DB2
DB.
DB2
Okay.
database.
Okay.
So from the DB2 database, DB2, there's a DB2, is there any plugin or plugin directly I can use and pull the data to what is this called? Search Elasticsearch.
Yes, yes. You have JDBC plugin available.
So JDBC plugin on directly from Elasticsearch.
Yes. See, for all of these things here, databases are segregated. FileBit, its database has certain data, right? It is
Mm.
available to you only when database services are on, right?
Mm.
If your service is down, then it won't be available. That's one thing. Second thing is FileBit won't be able to fetch this data. The reason, because FileBit fetches the data from log files. That's
Yes.
where FileBit comes into picture. So for all of these cases, Logstash is the one which can use it. The Logstash can use pull, Logstash can be used for push. So for both the condition, Logstash can be used. Here, for the condition which you are saying, like you have DB2, from there you want to push the data to Elasticsearch, you can use this JDBC plugin. This is a plugin available with Logstash. Here you can describe all the details. You can need to paste JDBC or OJDBC driver over here. Once you do that, you can build up the query as per your requirement. Suppose you have a requirement like out of all the fields, you only want 10 fields or something. So based upon your need, you can build a query and you can use Logstash to send the data.
No, but my question is, this JDBC driver I need to install on Elasticsearch or
No, Logstash. You just need to place it in Logstash.
I need to use a Logstash, set up this JDBC,
Yes. Yes, see,
and
this is
then
one such example.
can you share me that link as well?
Sure.
But is there any mechanism that we can read from a queue? MQ, you
Yes,
know the M.
yes. Which queue you were using? Redis or Kafka? What you were using?
I am using IBM MQ.
IBM MQ, I think that should also be available because Kafka and Redis are there. IBM
Okay.
MQ is different or Rabbit MQ? It is Rabbit MQ or what?
So similar kind of Rabbit MQ.
Okay, so here as a configuration is I'm showing it for Rabbit MQ. So here you can check like different configuration is there. You can place it accordingly. These are the different things which you need to give app ID, cluster ID, all those details, and accordingly you can utilize it.
So this, I think, Rabbit MQ, we can use it on
Yes,
Unix.
yes, yes,
So this is on the Logstash, this configuration.
yes, yes.
So Logstash can directly configure to the MQ to fetch the messages from the queue and directly write to a file of
Elasticsearch,
Elasticsearch.
yes.
Can you send me this link as well?
See, I've shared you its master link, so you don't have to worry about it. I have shared you input plugin. So there itself, you have multiple plugins available. You can go through it as per your requirement.
Okay.
So what's the plan? Like, you guys are moving to Elastic Cluster?
I'm in the mid of it, but I'm not yet finalized yet.
Okay.
I want to look into it, but I haven't finalized yet. So that's the reason I'm just attending these classes.
Okay.
So to get more overviews and to get hands-on on the tool,
Okay.
so that I can use the Elasticsearch or Elastic Cluster because today. But I don't see any of the it supports any of the IBM products here.
That could be a case, support metrics, because see, there are two main competitors if you talk about log handling. One is Elasticsearch, one is Splunk. So even for Splunk, its support metrics is similar to it.
Okay. Maybe because of the IBM products are most not freeware tools to play around. That's the reason they are not allowed.
Actually, it seems like that because in my old, as I said, like in our own environment, we face similar. Although we were able to install FileBit and Elastic, but there were certain configuration changes that we had to do, which to make it run, and we were still okay. The service was up and running, but we were not much comfortable.
Okay. Okay. I think pretty good. Thanks for your nice session.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward, I will discuss with Amit and let's drill a proper plan.
Okay.
Because let's match both all of our timings so that we can see totally how many sessions we are going
See,
to cover.
now here I place my session for 24 hours. Within 24 hours, I try to cover like whatever sessions I have defined in my PPT. I try to cover that. Plus, most of the times, like I previously I had two training classes. So most and then by end of the day, it always comes like the same sort of discussion which we had right now, like a actual scenario. What's the actual challenges that you are facing? So all these comes up into picture. So my goal is 24 hours. I try to cover maximum topics, whether be in mentioned whether I mentioned it in session or not.
Okay. If I require somewhere around offline support or something, can you assist on that?
Once in a while, yes.
Yeah, once in a while, not
Yep.
regularly.
See, on in context to labs, you can I can support any point of time. Okay, if you want to work on labs. My point is like same thing. Like you are in the industry more like longer than me, so you know like how does trainers actually guide. That's it.
Yeah, I understand. No, why I'm asking that question is because not for the sake of myself, for the sake of the rest who is there. Actually,
Yep.
few of
Yep.
my other friends are also going to join, but due to lack of time and other urgent issues, they cannot able to. Okay.
Got it. No problem. We can like Amit is here, so let's make Amit as the interface, and accordingly we can check our time because both of us are. I think every one of us are already engaged and working.
Yeah.
So let's
Sorry,
make
extremely sorry for postponing yesterday night session due to
no
urgent
issues, no
issues.
issues. That's okay.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for your session. I will
Thank
get
you.
back to you or get back to Amit and let's build a proper plan.
Okay, perfect,
Yes.
perfect.